MTSU has done it again. The College of Basic and Applied Sciences received the Tennessee Board of Regents Academic Excellence Award at the recent quarterly board meeting at Nashville State Community College. This is the third such award the college has received for creative programs that promote academic excellence, student-centeredness, and outstanding faculty leadership.
So I'm very pleased today that chosen to receive the award is the Middle Tennessee State University Engineering Technology Experimental Vehicles Program.
Dr. Saeed Farudistan, Associate Dean in the college, accepted the award that recognized MTSU's Experimental Vehicles Program, one that he developed and of which he is extremely proud.
This means a lot to me because this is really from the work of the student. I have senior mentoring sophomore mentoring the freshman. So if they have a question about their course of studies and homeworks, they work together. So it's a kind of a pre-led type situation. So they get mentored, and for that reason, they become a family, and they stay and they graduate.
David O'Brien, a senior at MTSU and president of the Experimental Vehicles Program, has been involved with the project since he was a freshman.
I'd say it's taught me three very crucial things. One is patience, the other is humility, and the third would be grace. And it's dealing with myself as well as my fellow students, those who I lead with and those who I lead as well.
Dr. Tom Cheatham, dean of the college, says this kind of experiential learning prepares students for the growing demands of the state and nation's workforce.
I think the relationship that students build with Dr. Frustan is a big part of that. The hands-on is exciting, and that keeps them engaged and helps them learn, but the relationship they build with the faculty and with Dr. Frustan is a key to retaining them. And a lot of these students might have not graduated otherwise, Tom. This program is really good for connecting them to something that's meaningful.
Those sharing the pride of the moment included Chancellor John Morgan and colleagues, along with a contingent from MTSU's Department of Engineering Technologies. Congratulations!
It used to be called freshman orientation, but customs is a much friendlier, cozier term, we think. It could mean helping new students become accustomed to college life. It might imply the way we do things at MTSU. Let us introduce you to our Blue Raider Customs. In any event, Customs kicked off at the end of May and runs throughout July. And welcoming more than 3,000 freshmen to campus is a ton of work.
I hope that they leave knowing about the university, feeling comfortable coming here in the fall, that they've met some folks, that they've connected with an advisor or a staff person and an upperclassman, that they feel a sense of ease when they come in August.
Students and their parents spend 2 days on campus learning about meal plans, housing, campus safety, financial aid, international study, internships, and much, much more. Organizations reach out during Customs to inform and perhaps recruit new members.
Today was long and tiring, but they really helped us with learning everything about the college and what we're going to go through, and stuff we can be involved with. So it was really helpful.
They thoroughly went through everything you needed to know in order to get ready for the school.
Today's been a really interesting experience. I was kind of nervous about it at first, wasn't sure really what to do. But after I got here, it was I really learned a lot about my classes, and it really helps me to know that I have a bunch of people supporting me and are there for me when I need them.
It's been a long day for the entire family, and also for the MTSU family, those student life leaders who work tirelessly to make Customs one of the best orientation programs in the country.
We evaluate our program every session. We ask our students and our parents to tell us a little bit about it, and 98% of them come back every time and say they had a great time. It was very informative, very inspirational for them, that it assured them that they made the right choice, that they feel comfortable with the decision that they made, and that while it is hot and it is long, it was a positive experience for them.
Customs for 2011 ends on July 29th, just in time for MTSU student affairs officials to start planning for Customs 2012. Welcome to MTSU, class of 2015.
The Tennessee Governor's School for the Arts is once again on MTSU's campus for the 27th year.
In 1984, we had the Governor's School in one area only at that time. It was the orchestra. And then a little bit later on, we added dance, and now we have governor's schools and the Governor's School for the Arts in 4 main areas: theater, visual art, music, and ballet. It's a foundation building program so that they not only experience the theory of their particular craft, but the foundation for a life in the arts. When we bring in folks, master classes we call them, a lot of them talk about a career in the arts. How does one go from the high school experience through the college experience? And then we had one young lady sing at the Metropolitan Opera. She was from Chattanooga, came through Governor's School, ended up here at MTSU, and got her master's at Rice, and now she's singing in New York at the Met. So, and we have those people back to tell their life stories and give these students a kind of artistic roadmap to their futures. The students have to submit letters of reference, and they have to also submit their grades. Then they have an on-campus interview with us and an audition, and that's in January. We're very, very happy with the turnout. We have over 1,300 students vying for these 240 positions. So the quality of the students who come to our Governor's School remains very, very high. What we're like to do is continue inspiring students for generations to come. I mean, the program is set now as sound foundations. So my vision is to say more of the same, but a tradition of excellence is what we're aiming for. So hopefully we'll keep on going.
At its heart, education surrounds us with everything we need to reach our dreams. It puts us in the middle of a host of opportunities. One university puts you in the middle of everything. Middle Tennessee State University, Tennessee's best.
Desde Middle Tennessee State University, le damos la bienvenida a nuestra serie sobre las oportunidades para una educación superior en Tennessee.
Hola, me llamo Chrissy y fui estudiante en MTSU. Estudié el periodismo y español como asignaturas principales. Me gusta MTSU porque aprendí mucho y mis profesores fueron muy serviciales. Hay muchas clases para elegir ofrecidas en diferentes horarios. Por eso pude trabajar tiempo completo y asistir a la universidad a la misma vez. Fue mucho trabajo, pero valió la pena. Me gradué en mayo y mi educación mejorará mis oportunidades para obtener un trabajo mejor. Por mi educación tengo más opciones de trabajo. Recomiendo que todos asistan a una universidad para lograr sus sueños.
Financiado por Title I of the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Act of 2006.
You can tell a lot about a university by the company it keeps. From the Podium is a feature on Out of the Blue that highlights visiting distinguished scholars and guests who share insights and observations on important societal issues. Recently, MTSU hosted a symposium on ethnic gangs, sponsored by the Forensic Institute for Research and Education and funded through the Department of Justice, that hammered home the point that community leaders must respond to organized gang activity as poisonous to the welfare and safety of all citizens. Hunter Glass, a combat veteran from New Orleans and law enforcement officer whose expertise is in the area of street gangs, pulled no punches.
He blames the Sicilian mob gangsters. More than 100 Sicilian Americans are rounded up. He's not a police official. He's just a mayor. A mob of 10,000 people, including many of New Orleans' elite, broke into the jail. They dragged 11 Sicilians from their cells and lynched them, including 2 men jailed on other offenses. It was the largest single mass lynching in U.S. history.
Dr. Carter Smith, professor of criminal justice at MTSU and founding board member of the Tennessee Gang Investigators Association, addressed the problems of gangs in the military. Gang members often opt for military service over incarceration, which produces a military-trained gang member, Smith said.
Even people who don't have clear ties to gangs will provide weapons that get to gangs. Look at this. 6 years ago, National Guard soldier sold foreign-made machine guns. What's that code for? There's two letters and 2 numbers. Yeah, when I say foreign-made machine guns, I'm talking about AK-47s, clearly, right? All right, sold them to a gun dealer in Georgia.
It was a great day for the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office. The deputy sheriff accepted the Best Practices Award for their program that has helped more than 100 inmates return to the outside world and rebuild their lives.
Their money. So the gangs had a lot in common. And the main thing, we found that after talking to a lot of these people, that they were just looking for approval. And they were looking for someone to be with. And fortunately, when they came to the Rutherford County Adult Detention Center, they found that they had a whole room full of people to be with.
A university is a marketplace of ideas. MTSU is proud to bring distinguished guests to campus who keep that marketplace alive and thriving with challenging perspectives and diverse ideas.
Well, hi, welcome back to more of Out of the Blue. I'm Bob Pondillo, a professor of mass communication here at MTSU, and our guest today is Dr. Mohammed Albakry. He is an associate professor of applied linguistics in the English department and is also the current director of graduate studies there in the English department, and is a Fulbright Fellowship winner and is also an outstanding teacher of the year for MTSU back last year. Dr. Albakry, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for hosting me.
What I want to find out about today, though, is something called corpus linguistics. Now, what is that, and how are you involved in that? Because that's the reason you're here today.
Well, that's actually my major interest in linguistics, and basically it's an approach to language that is empirical, that tries to eliminate or at least reduce the researcher's bias. So if you want to study a certain linguistic issue, you collect a large number of texts that are supposed to be representative of the issue that you are going to use. This way, you are not subjectively biased, and you also have a large number of texts that will give you more robust results.
Terrific. Give me an example so I could understand this better.
For example, right now I'm working with one of my graduate students on the historical newspaper Connecticut Current. It's one of the oldest continuously published newspapers in the U.S. And it's published since American Revolution, the time of the American Revolution, until now, under different names. And it's published in New England, Connecticut. And we have collected a large number of texts. And we would like to know how this newspaper represented the issue of slavery or African Americans. So we have this notion that the issue of slavery is polarized. There's a dichotomy between the anti-slavery North and the pro-slavery South, we're talking about history, but that's not the case. Slavery existed in New England, and there was an entrenched racist ideology in New England up until the time of the Civil War. And the discourse, the large number of texts we have collected are a very clear evidence of that.
Wow, and this is called corpus linguistics.
Corpus linguistics.
And corpus means like the core of the body of stuff that you're
Exactly.
you're
In this
studying.
case, a body of text, not
Right.
a dead body of someone.
No.
Yes.
I wasn't going to go there, but I understand. I also read here that you were going to do a summer program in Egypt this summer.
I was going to.
You were going to
not
because
anymore.
of what happened
Yes.
with Mubarak and what
Yes.
have you. And because you're from Egypt.
Yes.
And so what are we going to do now? What's the plan? I guess you're not going. Not a good idea to go right now anyway.
Hopefully next year. I see things moving in Egypt are moving in a more or less positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect and hope that things will be settled by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a new government, new elected, democratically elected
Sure.
government, and so on.
When you lived in Egypt under Mubarak, I would think he was there forever.
Right.
It seemed like. What was it like at that time, prior to you coming here and living under that regime?
Well, it was not. I mean, Egypt had all the facade of democracy. There was elections and voting and nominally different parties. So for an outsider, it looked fine. But in essence, it was only one party dominating everything. It's a presidential system, but the president has vast executive powers. Elections and voting was sometimes rigged in favor of the ruling party.
Right.
So these were the political conditions that were prevalent at the time.
It sounds fascinating what you're up to, and I'm sure there has to be, based on the fact that you won the Outstanding Teacher of the Year last year, students clearly enjoy working with you and your work as well.
I enjoy teaching very much too.
It is a fascinating area too, corpus linguistics. And we thank you very much for explaining a little bit about it. And we'd like you to come back again. Maybe we can talk some more about some other specific area.
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. Dr. Mohammed Albakry, Associate Professor of Applied Linguistics here at MTSU in the Department of English. And we'll be back with more of Out of the Blue in just a moment.
We started in 1911 with a clear mission to train Tennessee's best teachers. For the last 100 years, Middle Tennessee State University has carried out that mission and so much more. Nationally recognized as an affordable quality university, the #1 choice of undergraduates in Tennessee. As we celebrate our centennial, we look with pride at the past. We look forward to the future. Check out why we're Tennessee's best.
Desde Middle Tennessee State University, le damos la bienvenida a nuestra serie sobre las oportunidades para una educación superior en Tennessee.
Hola, con la educación universitaria puedes conseguir un buen trabajo, ganar más dinero y tener un buen comienzo a la vida. Estamos aquí en el campus de Middle Tennessee State University. El sistema de Tennessee Board of Regents da oportunidades a los estudiantes para poder alcanzar tus metas. A través de estas series vamos a hablar de esas oportunidades y lo que necesitarás para inscribirte en la universidad. Si planeas ser mecánico, enfermero, maestro o lo que decidas hacer, recuerda, la educación es el camino a tus sueños. Para más información visítenos a www.mtsu.edu/Hispanic.
Financiado por Title I of the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Act of 2006.
At its heart, education surrounds us with everything we need to reach our dreams. It puts us in the middle of a host of opportunities. One university puts you in the middle of everything. Middle Tennessee State University, Tennessee's best.
5.5 miles east of the MTSU campus, a new state-of-the-art dairy farm is under construction. The university received $4.3 million for the new dairy facility.
MTSU has had agriculture as part of its program for 100 years. MTSU is 100 years old. Agriculture was there at the beginning. In fact, they started on a farm and they kept on farming and before long started teaching it. And so we consider that agriculture is MTSU. You know, we're very pleased to be sharing in on the 100th anniversary. MTSU is one of the largest farmers in Rutherford County. We farm about 900 acres. When I say we, I mean mostly students. Students are why we are here. They're essentially the only reason we're here is for our students to learn practical, applied lessons in agriculture. They have to do the books too. Our students study real hard, but when the big thing for us is experiential, hands-on learning.
We have a spring semester vegetable gardening class and then a May semester gardening class. And so basically the way we do it is we have a lot of lab time in the garden. So we have our lectures, we learn the theory, and then we come out and apply it. And it is an EXL course, and so there's a heavy hands-on component, which really fits in with what the department's doing in general. It's kind of, I guess, kind of our niche that we're filling is really providing hands-on. They're going to learn everything from, you know, specific ways of growing the particular crops, the difference between warm season, cool season crops, when do you plant them, how do you manage them, how do you calculate their nutritional needs and provide that to them, different methods of mulching, pest control, irrigation, a lot of different things. And we also have in it, since we're doing the student farmers market, outside of class, the students in here also learn how to harvest and prepare the vegetables for the market. The vegetable gardening class is probably my most diverse class in terms of the majors that come into it. And it's really fun because we have typically anywhere from a quarter to half the students are ag majors, and then the rest of them are non-majors that are coming and taking this class because it's either an EXL class or they're just interested in it.
I transferred in from a small junior college with their agriculture program, and it is an amazing school. The teachers are passionate about what they do, and they care about my future. So Dr. Gill has been my mentor, and I'm very blessed. And he put together my internship at the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department on their green project. It's the Rutherford County Sheriff's Gardens of Hope, and it's going to be an amazing project for the whole community.
Students learn hands-on practical experience in areas such as food safety, cattle management, quality assurance, and how to use new technologies to perform traditional tasks, all of which transform them into highly qualified employees for Tennessee's large food processing industry. MTSU is the only university where students milk the cows and process the milk for the MTSU campus community.
This is a computer ID system. When the cow comes in, she's got a collar that will be on her leg, and it will give us her number, which would be her name. That's how we identify the cows in our herd. And as we milk the cow, this meter down here will take the conductivity of the milk, test it. If the conductivity is high, that means that she's got higher white blood cell counts in her milk, saying that something's a little wrong with her. And that will warn us to check her out and make sure that she's not too sick, and it'll help us catch her a few days earlier before something major happens.
The old facilities allowed only 60 to 70 cows to be milked. The new facility will enable students to milk 350 cows. According to Dr. Gill, the new dairy facility is going to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
These two things here are an energy recovery system that take the heat from the cooling condensers from cooling the milk tank, and it preheats our water that goes into our water heater, so we can save on our energy costs there. We're working on some grants with some geothermal technology, and we're hoping that maybe we can either geothermally cool the milk before it goes through the plate cooler, or geothermal cool the water down even cooler to get the milk down to even a cooler temperature to where we don't have to depend on so much electricity.
This is the heart of the dairy. This is where our students primarily, when they take the dairy production class or livestock management, several classes, they learn how to milk a cow. And this area is where the cows, the cow will come in here, and actually the way it's designed, her udder will be right about there. And the students will milk. This is called a double 8 parallel. So there's 8 cows over here, 8 cows over there. We can actually milk 16 cows at one time. This is state of the art. We want our students to, if they're going to learn about this, they're going to learn how to do it the right way, the way that industry has done it, and it's all computer monitored. The cow production is monitored in detail. It's just an extraordinary facility.
The MTSU Farm Laboratories, with over 800 acres, a dairy operation, beef herd, swine unit, greenhouse and dairy processing unit, is a key element in assuring that students will leave MTSU with exactly the skills that employers are looking for. The recent acquisition of an additional farm will provide students with the experience of observing and becoming involved with the building of a new dairy beef operation.
Join us in celebrating 100 years of MTSU history. Check out the Centennial Timeline at mtsu.edu/centennial.